adhere to the rules. I request all the delegates and students to be seated throughout the entire duration of the program, which will begin at 4 p.m. I request everyone to refrain from using your mobile phones and also to take any kind of photos during the sessions. Taking of photo is strictly prohibited during the session. I also request everyone to rise up when all the dignitaries enter the auditorium and also when they leave the auditorium at the end of the sessions. All are requested to rise up when national anthem is played. I humbly request you all to be seated throughout the program and not to leave the auditorium in between. There will also be a strict restriction of movement during the sessions. I also request everyone to maintain utmost silence throughout the program, and all are requested to please follow COVID protocols and masks are compulsory.
ಅದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಅವರೇ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲೂ ನೀವೇ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಬೊಕ್ಕೆ ಇದಾವ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ. 6-7 ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕು ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೊಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಅಲ್ಲ ಸಾರಿ, 3 ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕು ಮತ್ತೆ. 3 ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸರಿ.
जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
Thank you. I request everyone to be seated now. Good afternoon to all the dignitaries on the dais, delegates, and my dear students. I am Dr. Ganga Kevi, and it is my honor and privilege to welcome you all on behalf of S-VYASA to 24th International Conference on Frontiers in Yoga Research and its Applications. I now call upon our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. B.R. Ramakrishna, a renowned Ayurveda physician, Director of Sushruta Ayurvedic Medical College and Hospital, to welcome the gathering. Over to you, sir.
Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. With the permission of Honorable Governor of Karnataka, Shri Tarvar Singh Gilotji, I will take the privilege to welcome you all to 24th INCOFYRA organized by our S-VYASA deemed to be University, Bangalore. I am most honored to welcome Honorable Governor of Karnataka, Shri Tawarchand Gilotji. He is an Indian politician and is the current 19th Governor of Karnataka. He also served as the Minister of Social Justice and Empowerment from 2014 to 2021. He was a member of the Parliamentary Board and the Central Election Committee of Bharatiya Janata Party. He was also the member and leader of Rajya Sabha representing the state of Madhya Pradesh. He was awarded with an honorary doctorate by the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar University of Social Sciences. I take this particular context to welcome you, sir, wholeheartedly. Manju. I am highly indebted to welcome Shri Vinay Sahasrabuddheji, member of Rajya Sabha, President of Indian Council of Cultural Relations, ICCR, Government of India, for this inaugural function. He was appointed as the Chairman of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Human Resource Development. He is Honorary Director of the Public Policy Research Center, New Delhi, and also currently the Vice President of Rambahu Malgi Prabodhini RMP, a unique institution of which he was the Director General for over 2 decades. Sir, I welcome you wholeheartedly, sir. We have His Holiness Vishwaguru Mahamandaleshwara Paramahamsa Shri Swami Maheshwaranandaji Panchayati Maha Nirvani Akhat, Vienna, Austria, to bless us. I welcome him with pranams. The International Shri Deep Madhavananda Ashram, Vienna, Austria, was founded in 1990 by Paramahamsa Swami Maheshwarananda to unite under one organization the various associations of yoga in daily life that are scattered across the world. Another initiative is the Shri Swami Madhavananda World Peace Council, which has been established as a non-governmental, humanitarian and charitable society. The recent event of the Shri Madhavananda World Peace Council is the World Peace Summit, WPS, which met for several years in different countries with the aim to discuss special topic, that is religious dialogue, humanitarian projects and etc. to support the world peace. Sir, I prostrate on your holy feet and I extend warm welcome on behalf of Swami Vivekananda Yoganusandhana Samsthan. Our Chancellor of the University and the President of the Conference, Dr. H.R. Nagendra ji, is an internationally reputed yoga scientist who has made yoga a socially relevant science and made yoga to be accepted to the whole world. He is the chief architect of the last 23 INCOFYRAs and the present one. I am most pleased to welcome Guruji on this occasion. I am also pleased to welcome my colleagues, Dr. Manjunath N.K., Pro Vice Chancellor and Director of Research and Development, and also International Coordinator, and Professor M.K. Sridhar, our Registrar. I am pleased to welcome all the senior officers of the University, Dr. R. Nagaratna, Medical Director, Arogyadama, Raghuramji, the delegates who have come from all parts of India and abroad, distinguished speakers, invitees, members of Academic Council, Board of Management, students, teaching and non-teaching staff of our university, Sushruta Ayurvedic Medical College and Hospital, Sushruta School of College and Nursing, friends from print and electronic media. As part of INCOFYRA, the pre-conference workshop followed by Himalaya Yoga Olympiad finals were successfully completed. Around 1,500 delegates from all over India, from different states and different realms of medicine, yoga, naturopathy, Ayurveda, and integrative medicine are participating in this INCOFYRA. Delegates from different countries like United States of America, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Sri Lanka, Algeria, Bangladesh, Nepal, and other countries are also attending. I extend my cordial welcome to one and all. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. One of the objectives of INCOFYRA is to create awareness on integrated medical policies in a global perspective. I therefore request Dr. Manjunath N.K., Pro Vice Chancellor, International Coordinator, and Director of Research, S-VYASA, to give more details about the international conference.
Respected dignitaries on the dais and all the wonderful international as well as national speakers who have arrived here for this conference, and my dear delegates. It's my privilege to give you an overview about this conference. To begin with, I would like to say that this is the 24th International Conference on Frontiers in Yoga Research and Applications that talks about the legacy of this organization called S-VYASA, which gives all that importance to research and dissemination of research findings to common man. So this conference in particular has a theme called Integrative Medicine and Optimal Immunity. Particularly, this conference will address the linkages between immunity and integrative medicine, including perspectives, research-based evidence, and admonitions. It will also include interactive sessions by the key clinicians as well as scientists who have contributed substantially to the success of integrative medicine. The conference will be conducted in a hybrid mode. We had our own apprehensions that keeping COVID pandemic around, whether it can be an offline conference or not. Hence, we thought of having it as an hybrid conference. So the conference is also live, and people across the world are seeing this conference right from today. We had the special invitees for this conference from across the world. Some of them have come all the way from different countries, while others are participating in this conference as live sessions. The 24th INCOFYRA mainly aims to provide a forum to discuss the latest translational research findings and developments on integrative medicine with respect to immune health, with a special emphasis on COVID-19. The scientific sessions also have been crafted to energize and provide scientific research basis as well as approaches to clinical practice using integrative medicine towards immunity on one side, autoimmune disorders on the other, and infectious conditions as the third dimension. We have distributed this whole conference into various sessions. We have plenary sessions in the mornings and afternoons, which would bring the key immunologists, neuroscientists, cardiologists, and clinical practitioners of integrative medicine to give their best of their experiences. There will be more than 1,500 delegates from all over India and abroad converged for this event. The conference will have an esteemed presence of over 49 distinguished national and international speakers from academia, research, as well as clinical practice, including those representing the field of technology and health industries. Over a period of 4 days from today, and we will have 5 plenary sessions, 9 parallel symposia, which will be conducted, the whole thing encompassing varied range of topics under the theme Yoga as Lifestyle Medicine. They will share their views on the current scenario, on the varied aspects of evidence-based clinical research of integrative medicine to improve stress perception, immune health, and diseases associated with immune dysregulation. These scientific sessions will discuss the views of potential of integrative medicine to enhance immunity, emotional resilience, which was badly targeted during this COVID-19 pandemic, and reduce stress perception. The sessions would also provide insights into mechanistic aspects of integrative medicine to combat inflammatory responses in settings of autoimmune disorders and infectious diseases. Interestingly, we also have sessions that would aid in understanding the prospects of nutrition and lifestyle on the management of optimal health. Overall, we would utilize the platform of INCOFYRA to promote and disseminate research outputs from research scholars and scientists to a larger population. We foster students to have this research dissemination and also to participate in exhibiting their own talent through various poster as well as oral presentations targeted on 27th and 28th of May. It's a privilege to have such luminaries for this present for this conference, and I would like to conclude just by mentioning some of them who have taken all the pain in traveling to India and give their experience to everyone. Particularly, we are privileged to have Dr. Farid Murad, who is the Nobel Prize winner for physiology or medicine in 1998 from University of Texas Medical School at Houston. He will be giving his video talk right in tomorrow first session. We also have Dr. Lorenzo Cohen, Professor, Department of General Oncology and Integrative Medicine from MD Anderson Cancer Center, University of Texas, Houston. We have here in person Dr. Chen Wang sitting in front, Director, Center for Complementary and Integrative Medicine, Tufts Medical Center, Boston, USA. We also have Dr. Ahmed, Professor of Health, Nutrition and Exercise Science, Reader of Public Health and Preventive Healthcare, Director of Directorate of Public Health, coming all the way from United Kingdom. And these are very few to mention, but I'm sure the delegates are going to have a galaxy of these speakers talking to you, and you will have opportunities to have more interactions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Today we have distinguished dignitaries amongst us on the dais. I would now like to invite Dr. Vinay Sahasrabuddhe, Member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha, President of Indian Council of Cultural Relations, Government of India. He has also published various books in English and Marathi and also has been an occasional contributor to many English and Marathi language newspapers. Over to you, sir.
Honorable Governor of the state of Karnataka, Shri Thawarchand Gehlot ji, and I had the good fortune of working under his leadership in the upper house of Indian Parliament, the Rajya Sabha. Also, our very beloved and respected Dr. H.R. Nagendraji, Chancellor of the S-VYASA and President of this 24th INCOFYRA, His Holiness Vishwaguru Mahamandaleshwar Paramahansa Shri Swami Maheshwarananda Ji, Panchayati Mahanirvani Akhada, Vienna, Austria. Also, Dr. Ramakrishna Ji, Vice Chancellor S-VYASA, Pro Vice Chancellor Dr. Manjunath Ji, other dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, participants of the 24th INCOFYRA, ladies and gentlemen. S-VYASA, and especially people associated with S-VYASA, are like a family to me. And therefore, to be here and participating in any function of this kind is a matter of great pleasure. And I'm really honored for being here at the inauguration of the 24th INCOFYRA. At the outset, let me offer my best wishes for a successful conference ahead. While S-VYASA is the Tapobhumi of yoga, and this is the 24th conference, so 2 tapas, if I may calculate that way. But at the same time, this is one of the premier knowledge centers. In modern terms, all kinds of research that is required, scientific research, evidence-based research, experience-based research, all these things are undertaken over here for years together, and therefore S-VYASA has created a niche of its own, and I'm happy the Indian Council for Cultural Relations is also benefiting by the knowledge created by the S-VYASA. Every year, last 4 years, we have been conducting an international yoga conference in various parts of the globe with the knowledge partnership of S-VYASA and even other various training programs, including the ITC program of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. S-VYASA has been always a leading partner. However, when today we are on the threshold of a conference on frontiers of yoga research and its applications, as a student of yoga, I believe I should be flagging certain areas which require perhaps deeper application of mind and attention of the researcher community. Firstly, it is very required that globally we create a sound understanding about the comprehensive character of yoga. Yoga is not just a physical exercise protocol. It is not a healing system per se. It is not just confined to our respiratory systems or any other system. It is not just about meditation. All these things put together is what we get as yoga or yogic sciences. But in spite of the fact that after the inauguration of International Yoga Day and its establishment about 7 years before, the understanding about the comprehensive nature of yoga is still an unfinished agenda, and therefore I am happy it is with this objective that ICCR has been organizing international conferences with the knowledge partnership of S-VYASA. The second thing is, which I believe perhaps is a challenge for all of us, is that most of the diseases today, most of the ailments today are born out of the lifestyle that we pursue. And while yoga, and for that matter any other traditional system, would demand reforms in our lifestyle, which is very well taken, but with the changing pace of life, lifestyle cannot perhaps be entirely controlled by us. There are people who are factory workers and they have to follow a particular schedule. night shift, day shift, odd hours. And all these things cannot be accommodated and they cannot shape them. They are not at liberty to control. So, yoga will also have to try and accommodate the diversity of lifestyles which are not our making per se. At the same time, different lifestyles, different climatic conditions, different dietary practices, all these things, I'm sure yoga already is capable of accommodating them, but that yoga can accommodate all these things requires to be told loud and clear to the global community so that yoga is not considered as something which is confined to a particular set of lifestyle or a particular dietary system. This understanding, I believe, is also required. The third thing which I believe is needed is an attempt, at least, to speak in one voice. In the sense, while in India we always believe let 1,000 flowers bloom, and therefore different schools of yoga are there in India, even in abroad, and they have different nomenclatures, different styles of yogic practices, and all this is welcome. But when there is too much of diversity, it becomes very difficult for the global community to find a common thread. This, I believe, all those who are into yogic practices, sadhana, and even research for that matter, will have to decide as to what minimum protocols we can perhaps agree upon and say that on these areas or on these particular protocols, we are speaking in one voice. If that happens, unnecessary confusion about yoga and at times some kind of one-upmanship also, sadly, perhaps could be restricted. Fourthly, while yoga and yoga-related literature is available today in abundance, even research literature, but I'm afraid it is majorly in English language, apart from Indian languages. I would urge the S-VYASA and ICCR would be happy to partner with you that if we could institute an award for literature, scientific literature created in various world languages, we have to find out people who can contribute and come out with some set of literature on yoga and yoga-related research in Spanish, in German, in Japanese, in Chinese, and all those major world languages. And together, perhaps we can recognize such contributors who write on yoga, which is essentially a traditional Indian knowledge system, and tell a particular language or linguistic community about the fundamentals of yoga in their language or the language that they understand. If that happens, I am sure it would contribute greatly in evolving a proper understanding of yoga, yogic sciences, and the philosophy behind yoga as well. Lastly, they say, yoga karmasu kaushalam. And literally, it can be said that yoga leads to kaushala, which is skills. But I believe that while yoga leads to skills, skills also require some kind of yogic anusthana, and that perhaps this particular knowledge center has been offering to the global community, for which once again I congratulate S-VYASA, express my gratitude for having me here, and thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I humbly request His Holiness Vishwaguru Mahamandaleshwara Paramahamsa Shri Swami Maheshwarananda Ji, Panchayati Maha Nirvani Akhara, Vienna, Austria, to bless the gathering.
सनातन धर्म की जय हो। भारत माता की, परब्रह्म परमात्मा की जय। आज एक इतना और मुझे बहुत आनंद रहा एक योग के बारे में, और यहीं पर हमारे भगवान के रूप में है ये, वो भी हमारे विराजमान है। ज्यादा मैं किसी को नहीं मानूंगा, बोलूंगा, लेकिन योग की हमें सोच रहा था योग किस प्रकार के हैं और कैसा है। मैं ज्यादा नहीं पूछूंगा। मेरे को करीब 70 years के I am in the whole world, around the whole world, and I have seen the yoga, very good yogis, all, not only myself, but many other in other countries. In India, slowly, people were not doing the yoga, no practicing yogas. Moti ji padhare, and he brought that yoga from the whole world. And all people was very happy. But Moti ji does not have so much. We gave up our people, and now what they are doing the yoga, in my, there's not real yogas. From where? From India. But when I go in other countries, you will see the real yogis and your yoga, and who are there mostly. Guruji hai mere Guruji hai. He has brought such a thing. I was so happy, and you will give me something. So, if we want to have the yoga, you see there are two things, the medicals and yoga. Medicals and yoga, both that is also good, but yoga is the great of the great, and that we have to come again. In India, I'm not talking about other countries. Other countries are very, very good in yoga. But in our countries, we are not properly in the yoga. So, Guruji and हमारे सभी पधारे, आप ये लाएंगे, हमारे गुरुजी कर रहे हैं, और मेरे को यहाँ 2 बार बुलाया था, और मैं कितनी सालों से कितना हूँ महाराज जी के साथ में, तो यहाँ से इतना ही नजदीक था, और गुरुजी वहां से थे। बार बार मैं आता हूँ, और योगिक जो है अभी योगिक, तो वो योगी जो है वो मांस मत खाना, क्या कहते हैं वो, अल्कोहल, और दिस एंड दिस. In India, I'm talking to you, please, I'm in outside in the world, thousands and millions of the people don't eat meat, no alcohol, no this and everything. But here that someone padai, very good padai, and said मेल जो हियर सभी के सामने खाते हैं, and we are drinking and eating. That is not a yogi and not India. But यहाँ पर आप विराजमान हैं सभी. You are the greatest of this in the world. So I'm very happy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Guruji. I take this opportunity to call upon the visionary behind S-VYASA, our Honorable Chancellor, Dr. H.R. Nagendra, President and Chief Architect of 24th INCOFYRA, to share his words of wisdom with us. Over to you, Guruji.
My dear brothers and sisters, it's such a great delight that our Honorable Governor of Karnataka has been able to spare his most valuable time for being here to inaugurate this 24th International Conference and Frontiers in Yoga Research and Application. We are very grateful to you for your presence, sir. Similarly, our great friend and one of the top dignitaries of the world, our Vinay Chancellor also has come, and his beautiful speech, in such a short time, he was able to bring about the three major dimensions that we have to address ourselves in this conference to see how yoga as a way of life can be suitably looked at when we bring about various yoga practices, how we can bring common yoga protocols and many others. So we are very wonderfully happy that you've been able to hear for this conference. We are so delighted. And our Swami Maheshwaranandji, who has transformed large number of lakhs of people with the yoga way of life in the whole of Europe, New Zealand, Australia, and many other places. He has been here, and we are so delighted to have his presence also in this conference. And a galaxy of top intellectuals, researchers, and other yoga experts like our Manchandaji and all others, they have all joined here to update ourselves how you have to grow further in this dimension of integrative health. Today we know that no single system, whether it's allopathy or yoga or Ayurveda, Siddha, Yunani, homeopathy, can deal with these challenges that we face today. The challenges of non-communicable diseases, asthma, diabetes, hypertension, heart problem, epilepsy, migraine, irritable syndrome, psychiatric challenges are all intractable by a single thing. We need an integrative system. That's the most important. Therefore, rightly, this conference addresses itself to the integrative medical system for optimal immunity. We have to see that our immune system is kept intact and grow continuously, particularly in the new context of the COVID and the rehab of the COVID thing. We have to see that we maintain our immune system with immaculate strength, power, harmony, and balance. And therefore, this conference is going to highlight all the researches that have undergone over the last few years in dealing with optimal immunity, as to how we can deal with this optimal immunity to deal with these modern ailments, whether it's asthma or COVID and many others, infectious and contagious diseases on one side and NCDs on the other side. Therefore, we are very, very happy that the top researchers of the world have been able to come together to discuss, share their wisdom, and see that we evolve a wonderful dimension to see how we can integrate the entire healthcare delivery system. Today, what is needed in the world is a healthcare delivery system which is very, very effective, with least side effects, and which is very cost effective and evidence-based. And that is what we are heading for. So here in Prashanti Kuteram, in our 450-bed facility, thanks to Dr. Nagaratna and then large number of our doctors of allopathy and others, we have been able to evolve the way by which you can integrate effectively all these systems, allopathy, then the Ayush systems. And therefore, we have a direction that we have to give it to the world at large for the integrative health system. And that can bring about the dimension. And all of you know that our pan-India diabetic research spread all over the country with 2.5 lakh people who were screened, brought out nearly 40 research papers. And recently, our COVID, also we had nearly 6 or 7 major publications as to how yoga can improve the immunity and see that we will be able to deal with infectious and viral diseases like the COVID. And therefore, we are all ready to interact each other, share our wisdom, and see that our research grows to greater heights, to see that we all work together as one big family in yoga and the Ayush system. And therefore, I'm very, very happy that this 24th INCOFYRA is being offered on hybrid mode. Normally, we conduct this every once in 2 years in January. But because of COVID, we had to postpone this, and we had this. And we had nearly 2,000 people who joined for this conference from all over the country. And this hall is not enough for them. Therefore, in 3 halls, we are having this thing, and your wonderful blessing talk is going to be heard by all people. And thanks to our research company who have come forward to spread it all over the world in the hybrid mode. And we are hoping that nearly 2 to 5 lakh people all over the world are going to hear your wonderful address, Honorable Governor Ji. And we are so happy that you have been able to spare your time and join us to give your blessings and wonderful speech. Namaskar, Dhanyavad.
Thank you, Guruji. Keeping in line with the tradition of INCOFYRA, we hereby release the Souvenir of INCOFYRA 2022. I now request Honorable Governor of Karnataka, Shri Thawar Chand Gehlot Ji, and all other dignitaries present on the dais to release the Souvenir of 24th INCOFYRA 2022. Thank you, everyone. It's my privilege to welcome our Honorable Governor of Karnataka, Shri Thawar Chand Gehlot Ji, who is also the first person serving as the Governor of Karnataka from Madhya Pradesh. He also served as the Minister of Social Justice and Empowerment from 2014 to 2021. He was a member of the Parliamentary Board and Central Election Committee of BJP. He is also the awardee of Honorary Doctorate by the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar University of Social Sciences. I kindly request him to give the inaugural address.
स्वामी विवेकानंद योग अनुसंधान और इसके अनुप्रयोग की सीमाओं पर 24वें अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सम्मेलन के उद्घाटन अवसर पर मंच पर विराजमान राज्यसभा सांसद एवं आईसीसीआर के अध्यक्ष, विद्वान व्यक्तित्व के धनी डॉक्टर विनय सहस्त्रबुद्धे जी, विश्वगुरु महामंडलेश्वर परमहंस श्री स्वामी महेश्वरानंद जी, कुलाधिपति पद्मश्री डॉक्टर HR नागेंद्र जी, प्रो वाइस चांसलर और डायरेक्टर आदरणीय डॉक्टर मंजुनाथ जी, वाइस चांसलर आदरणीय डॉक्टर BR रामकृष्णा जी, रजिस्ट्रार डॉक्टर MK श्रीधर जी, योग जगत से जुड़े हुए सभी महानुभाव, देश के बाहर से अर्थात विदेश से आए हुए सभी देवी और सज्जनों, मैं आप सबका हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं, अभिनंदन करता हूं और नमस्कार करता हूं। मैंने इस संस्थान का नाम बहुत सुना है, सोच रहा था कभी न कभी जाऊंगा, परंतु ऐसे शुभ अवसर पर आया हूं। मैं यहां आकर के अत्यधिक प्रसन्न हूं। योग अनुसंधान और इसके अनुप्रयोग में सीमाओं पर 24वें अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सम्मेलन का उद्घाटन करते हुए मुझे प्रसन्नता हो रही है। ये 3 दिन तक चलने वाला कॉन्फ्रेंस है। निश्चित रूप से योग के बारे में विचार विमर्श होगा। बहुत सारे नए नए अनुसंधान से संबंधित निष्कर्ष निकलेंगे, जिसका लाभ योग के क्षेत्र में हम सब के लिए उपयोगी सिद्ध होंगे। आज के इस आयोजन का विषय एकीकृत चिकित्सा और इष्टतम प्रतिरक्षा बहुत ही उपयुक्त है। इस दिशा में हमको विचार विमर्श करने की आवश्यकता है। पूरी दुनिया कोविड महामारी से पीड़ित रही है, अभी भी है। दवा या उपचार की कोई एक प्रणाली इस जानलेवा बीमारी को ठीक करने में पूरी तरह मदद नहीं कर सकती है। इसलिए रोगियों के उपचार के लिए एकीकृत दृष्टिकोण की आवश्यकता है। यह संस्थान इस दिशा में प्रशंसनीय काम कर रहा है। इस संबंध में भारत सरकार का आयुष मंत्रालय आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के कुशल नेतृत्व में आयुर्वेद और योग पर विशेष जोर देने के लिए एक साथ पारंपरिक चिकित्सा प्रणालियों को पुनर्जीवित करके समग्र स्वास्थ्य को बढ़ावा दे रहे हैं। जामनगर में पारंपरिक चिकित्सा के लिए वैश्विक केंद्र स्थापित करने का प्रस्ताव पिछले 7 वर्षों से अंतर्राष्ट्रीय योग दिवस का आयोजन, आयुष्मान भारत का शुभारंभ, आयुष स्वास्थ्य केंद्र भारत सरकार द्वारा लाई गई कुछ ऐसी ही पहल है। आज के वर्तमान परिवेश में एकीकृत चिकित्सा ही एकमात्र विकल्प है, जिसे आयुर्वेद जैसे चिकित्सा पद्धति से ही पूरा किया जा सकता है। आज हमें योग के महत्व को समझना होगा। योग केवल व्यायाम नहीं, योग विज्ञान का चौथा आयाम भी है। योग जीवन जीने की एक कला है, जिसका लक्ष्य है स्वस्थ शरीर और स्वस्थ मन। कुछ सालों पहले सिर्फ आयुर्वेदिक रूप से ही योग को महत्व दिया जाता था, लेकिन वर्तमान समय में वैज्ञानिक रूप से भी योग को महत्व दिया जा रहा है। वैश्विक कोरोना महामारी में देखा गया है कि डॉक्टर भी मरीज को योग करने के लिए प्रोत्साहित करते रहे हैं और बहुत सारे लोगों ने योग के माध्यम से स्वस्थ रहने की दिशा में सफलता प्राप्त की है। योग करने से हमारे शरीर में निश्चित रूप से रोग प्रतिरोध की शक्ति बढ़ती है और शरीर रोग मुक्त रहता है। ऐसा माना जाता है कि दुनिया में करीब 2 अरब से भी ज्यादा लोग प्रतिदिन योगाभ्यास करते हैं। हमारे देश का लक्ष्य है कि योग से दुनिया के हर व्यक्ति को लाभ मिले। देश के प्रधानमंत्री आदरणीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी 21 जून 2015 को अंतर्राष्ट्रीय योग दिवस मनाने की घोषणा की थी, जिसमें पहली बार लगभग विश्व के 192 देशों ने योग दिवस में हिस्सेदारी की थी और योग किया था। वैश्विक महामारी कोरोना में आयुर्वेदिक दवाओं, आयुष काढ़ा ने भी पूरी दुनिया में अपनी पहचान बनाई है। एलोपैथी, योग और आयुष की अन्य प्रणालियां अपने अनूठे तरीकों से रोगी की देखभाल करती है। मैं इस सम्मेलन में साक्ष्य आधारित दृष्टिकोण और प्रतिरक्षा स्वास्थ्य पर एकीकृत चिकित्सा की भूमिका प्रस्तुत करने के लिए विश्व प्रसिद्ध वैज्ञानिकों और चिकित्सकों वक्ताओं को बधाई देता हूं, शुभकामनाएं देता हूं और विश्वास करता हूं कि उनके विचार विमर्श से योग की दिशा में हम महत्वपूर्ण निर्णय ले पाएंगे। ये जानकर खुशी हो रही है कि सम्मेलन के हिस्से के रूप में योग अनुसंधान और चिकित्सा पर शिक्षाप्रद कार्यशालाओं का आयोजन हिमालय योग ओलंपियाड के अलावा किया जाएगा, जिसमें पूरे भारत के युवा छात्र अपने योग कौशल का प्रदर्शन करेंगे। मैं उन्हें अग्रिम बधाई और शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। मुझे उम्मीद है कि यह सम्मेलन योग अनुसंधान के विभिन्न आयामों को बढ़ावा देगा और मानव जाति को स्वस्थ, खुश, शांतिपूर्ण और प्रकृति में सक्रिय बनाने के लिए नई तकनीकी उपकरण विकसित करेगा। बहुत ज्यादा कहने की आवश्यकता महसूस नहीं करता हूं। मैं फिर से अपनी शुभकामनाएं व्यक्त करता हूं और मेरी वाणी को विराम देता हूं। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
Thank you, Your Honor. As we are approaching towards the end of the program, I would now like to invite the Organizing Secretary of INCOFYRA, Professor M.K. Shridhar, Registrar of S-VYASA, to propose vote of thanks.
Namassabhabhyah Sabhavatibhyascha. On behalf of the organizing committee of the 24th INCOFYRA and S-VYASA deemed to be university, we offer grateful thanks to Honorable Governor of Karnataka, Shri Thavarchand Gehlot ji, for his very insightful, profound inaugural address in chaste Hindi language about the various dimensions of yoga. We are ever beholden to you, Honorable Governor, sir. We offer grateful thanks to Shri Vinay Sahasrabuddheji, member of the Rajya Sabha and the President of Indian Council for Cultural Relations, Government of India, for his wonderful speech, vision about yoga, and his kind advice to the delegates for moving forward. We offer our beholden to Vishwaguru Mahamandaleshwar Shri Swami Maheshwaranandaji, Vienna, Austria, for his kind blessings. We immensely thank the conference president of our and also the Chancellor of our university, Dr. H.R. Nagendraji, for his wonderful remarks. Special thanks are due to Dr. Ramakrishna B.R., Vice Chancellor, and Dr. Manjunath N.K., Pro Vice Chancellor, Dr. R. Nagaratna Didi, Medical Director, Arogyadama. I thank all the delegates who have assembled from all parts of India and abroad, senior office bearers of the university, invitees, members of the organizing committee, friends from the print and the electronic media, teaching, non-teaching, and the supporting staff, volunteers for making this inaugural event a grand success. We offer grateful thanks to Honorable Union Minister of Ayush and other officials of the Government of India and Government of Karnataka for collaboration of this conference. Our special thanks are due to Messrs. Reset Mumbai for promoting Ayu Health and Yoga through the mobile app at the global level. Many thanks to the staff of Raj Bhavan and the police personnel. Namaskar, Dhanyavad.
I now request everyone to kindly stand up for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
I request everyone to remain in their positions till the dignitaries move out of the auditorium. I request all the delegates to please remain in their positions. After this, satsang is going to continue.